Alright guys, getting ready to put the motor back in the rig. We are degreasing her up to be able to put the motor back in it tomorrow. I'm hopefully going to get it in the morning. And yeah, so I'm going to get this thing pressure washed and stuff and get her ready for the new motor. And then I'll catch you guys tomorrow when we're going to pick it up. Alright guys, same night as I was just washing the flatbed truck, Chris called me and told me to come get my motor. So we got the motor. We got the motor. So yeah, huge shout out to Chris Calkins getting me right in a timely manner. And we are on our way back to the shop to dress this thing up and get her slapped in the old flatbed truck hopefully tomorrow. Yes sir, yep. I am fired up. Alright guys, so same night still. Got the motor in the shop, set on the ground for now. I am going to, I got some new parts. Got a fuel shut-off solenoid, a water pump, and a thermostat. Gavin's out there doing donuts right now. Jesus. So I'm going to get this thing unwrapped, and I'll get back to you guys when we're smacking some parts on this rig. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Made a little bit of headway on the motor last night. Gavin is currently on his way. He's going to pick me up some parts. I got the new water pump on. I got the tensioner on. The fan pulley on. I got turbo drain on. He's grabbing some Teflon tape so I can Teflon tape up a couple plugs before I put them in. He's also picking up my crank sensor while he's on the way. I got my fuel block off plate on. It's just a big block Chevy fuel block off plate. I got my new fuel shut off on here. I got to go rob a couple parts off the race truck because I'm just kind of done with that thing. So I'm going to rob a couple parts off of it. And yeah, so I just got to, when he gets here with the Loctite, I'm going to put the back plate on the motor and then throw the clutch on it and then throw those couple plugs in. And then it should be time to smack this son of a gun in here. And I think I'm going to put it in without the manifold and without the turbo on it. And, oh, I got to get my motor mounts. I got to put my motor mounts on. They're just over there. I just got to go get them and put them on. So I got to do that too. And then, yeah, so we're making some headway on this thing. And I'm getting pretty fired up. I'm hoping, it's like 11 a.m. now. I'm hoping by 2 or 3 we got it in the truck at least. And all bolted in and start plumbing it up. So hopefully by 6 or 7 we're giving it the first pop off on the start. So we'll get back with you guys after we get it all dressed and everything we're gonna dress on it and start to get it shoved in the truck. So thank you. All right guys, motor is fully dressed, ready to go in. Got both the motor mounts on. We actually already had it in once, but I had that motor mount backwards and I forgot to film, so we should be good to put her in now. Got Ronan here, Noah's here, Gavin's been here, and the fucking Mountain Man. He is here, people. We're ready to do this, to do the deal, you know what I mean? So we'll get back to you guys in a minute after we get it stuffed in there. What do we got going on here?
Well, the motor's in.
It's
Took a little bit of jumping on.
We had to jump on it a little bit to get it in, but we finally got to sit in the motor mounts. It's in. We got her in. We're pretty fired up about it. So now all we got to do is plumb in power steering lines, wire in temperature sensor, wire in oil pressure sensor, hook up throttle cable, fuel lines, put oil in it, and then put it all back together and drive it home tonight. That's the goal, at least, you know. So we're all pretty stoked about this unit. We're about to have the flatbed truck back going. So yeah, we're fired up about it. We will catch you guys in a minute. We'll catch you whenever we got old Troy putting the FAS on.
We need to get the old vacuum out too.
So yeah, we're gonna have to get the vacuum out too. So catch you guys in a second. Guys, all the bell housing bolts are tight. Downpipe is on. I'm trying to think what else we got to do here. Me and Troy are in the middle of putting power steering lines on right now, and then we're gonna go to wiring in. We gotta extend our temp sensor to get it to reach up here because on the 12 valve, they're back there. And then I have to figure out how to wire in an oil pressure sensor. And then We got to put the belt on it and plumb in our fast, and then put oil in it and see if this thing will pop off or not. We're hoping it will. Oh, and we got to put our crank position sensor on it, which that's easy. So we'll get back to you guys in a minute. For me and Troy, it's the next day. We gave up last night. We're putting the fast on it. So of course this thing blew up on a full tank of fuel, so we're siphoning fuel out of it to be able to drill our hole to put this in and not end up with a bunch of shavings in the diesel fuel. So we have 34 gallons of diesel fuel to pump out of this thing, 5 gallons at a time, and I guess Blaine's getting a full tank. So lucky him if I don't siphon it back out. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get this fast on here in like the next hour, and then we'll be getting to you guys when we're doing some electrical wiring, and then it'll be started up and see if it runs. So we're pretty fired up. All right, guys, so we're putting oil in it. We got the fast on it. Power steering line's all hooked up. Fuel lines, return. Everything should be hooked up. We think we got the, this was a 12 valve truck. We put a 24 valve in it. So we had to change some wiring on the oil pressure sensor. And we think we got that to where it'll work, but we're not too sure. We're putting oil in it to be able to, oh, it's coming out of the side of the valve cover. To be able to crank the truck over and see if we will get oil pressure or not. So we're gonna put some oil in it. We gotta hook the starter up, and then we'll get back to you guys hopefully when we're cranking it over and hoping it has oil pressure. That means we did something right. So we'll get back to you guys in just a minute. All right, guys, we got the we got it all, everything hooked up, right? Got the mountain man behind the fucking wheel. We're gonna see if we can get some oil pressure out of this rig. Go ahead and hit her. Oh, the starter's locked up, ain't it? Are you kidding me? All right, take two. We think the battery was dead. Hit it. Ah, got us. Go ahead. All right, the battery is that dead. We're gonna have to wait a minute. Take three here. Hit her, Ricky. Watch the oil pressure. Make sure we got it. Not yet. Guys, after a few hours, Logan showed up, and a whole lot of cobbing together. We have since figured out that we have oil pressure, and we got it working. So now we are gonna see if this thing will fire up. Blaine is plugging in the fuel shutoff. I need to grab my 19 millimeter wrench so I can crack some lines, and we should be ready to fire it up. So we'll be getting back to you guys as we're cranking this rig over there. I'll get the job secured. All right, go ahead, I guess. No RPM still? No RPMs? No RPMs? Just run it for like a split second. Smooth! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No. Guys, we got Jake in the truck. All the injectors are out of it. We got our return line running to our bucket. That way the fast can still be hooked up. All right, Jake, go ahead and hit it. You're good, go ahead. Hang on. Let me lift the fuel shutoff up. Turn the key on. All right, hit it. Hey guys, so we checked the pump and it looks like they're all spraying fine except for cylinder 4, which would not explain our seem to be fuel overload. We have not checked injectors because we really can't check those. We have to send those off to have them checked. The next thing we're going to check, Blaine's on his way and he's going to grab a timing tool out of his 12 valve timing cover, and we're going to stick it. You stick it in the back of the timing cover and there's a spot on the cam. You rotate the crank over, it slides in, and then you pull, I think it's a 1-inch plug out of the side of the pump, and it should just be pin time because I wanted it all set to factory. That's how Chris set it up. So whenever Blaine gets here, we will update you guys with doing that. And yeah, we'll see you then. All of them seem to have compression. Now we're waiting on Mountain Man to get here with our timing plug so we can check it and make sure that it has or is in time and did not slip time. So we will get back to you guys now whenever he gets here. Me, Blaine, and Jake are here. So we just got done checking to make sure the motor is in time with the pump. So how you do that on like a stock 12 valve, this is obviously a P-pump 24 valve, but it has the 12 valve cam in it, which has the notch on it. Where's the plug at, Blaine? So factory 12 valves have this plug, but it has a nipple on the end of it. This one's broke off, but it has a nipple on the end of it that rides in the back of the timing cover, and there's a notch in the cam at top dead center that this slides into, that locks in to make sure you're at top dead center. And then the pump has a little window on it that you can put this plug right here. It's hard to see, it's a little oily. Oh, focus. So that plug locks in to the pump. And when that plug locks in on the little timing pin on the pump, that's top dead center on the pump, I do believe. Or timed, whatever the pump's timed to. If it's, say, pin timed to 16 degrees, like my race truck, that means that it's timed. So the way to figure out how to time them when they don't have that timing pin is you spin the motor over until the intake valve, it'll go down, and on its up strike at the top of it is whenever it's at top dead center. So we just spun the motor till it was at the top of it because that's the way I've always done it, because I've never had the luxury of having the 12 valve cam in the 24 valve, or the cam gear, I should say, in the 24 valve. And then I went down with another timing plug, stuck it in the back of it, it checked out, went down, checked the pump to see if the pump was timed. It was not. So I was like, okay, so we pulled everything out, spun the motor over, and whenever that intake valve on number 6 starts to go down, that's when I see my little pin, and then that's whenever the pump should be timed, or at pin time, which is way out. So all that happened was a jump time, hopefully. So here in a minute, we are gonna timer. Ain't that right, Jacob? And yeah, put this thing back together and see if it starts. We'll see you then. Just me and the fucking legendary Mountain Man. All right, so we got it timed. It's back to pin time. So now all we gotta do is throw it back together. I would try and show you what it's like. It's just too big of a pain. I can't get down there to it with my phone. So I just gotta put injectors in it, crossover tubes, injector hole down to torque them all down, and then injector lines to right there. And then we should be able to start this thing and get it to run. Oh, and I gotta hook my return line back up before we can start it. I just got it in the bucket because it always circulates fuel through it with the fast running. So I will, here in hopefully a couple minutes, I'll have the injectors back in it and the crossover tubes back in it, and I'll be able to get back with you guys on us cranking this thing over. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Hunter showed up. We've got her all the way together except for the valve cover being on. So Blaine, hop in there and hit the key, because I'll see if this rig fire up. You got to give it a tad bit of throttle to get to start. Yeah, hit it. Shut it off. All right, it runs. Yes, sir. We just got to check the oil in her one last time after we put it back together and drive her home. That's what I like to see, guys. That's badass. I'm glad that it was just a slip timing and wasn't something catastrophic. So we're gonna throw her back together and we'll let you guys know whenever we're done. All right, guys. So truck is pretty well done. We had a little fuel leak. Hoping I got it fixed. We're waiting on the brake clean to dry up so I can start it and check it. So I just want to give you guys a little build list of what this thing is. It is a 99 24 valve P-pumped. It's got 12 valve rods, 12 valve crank, 12 valve cam, head studs. I think Chris said he punched it out 20 over. Like I said, the motor's only got 40 miles on it. I messed up and didn't video a little bit of it. I was just in a rush and more worried about getting it together. But anyway, it's also got 50 over injectors, but that is it. It's the only thing it's got. It's got a fast as well. So it's not too shabby. It's coming along now. You just gotta get ready to paint it, get a bed for it. And yeah, I'm really loving how the truck's turning out and hoping it's gonna be a good unit for me. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.